In the Builders category of this year's Hall of Fame, Field Hockey Canada is proud to induct John McBryde, a Canadian field hockey icon.
I'm very proud and honoured to have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, John. We can't thank you enough for what you have done for us, and especially for your younger brother, Shivi.
McF, keep it up. It's been a great ride, and I hope we got a few more years of good times. Well done, John.
McBryde served as a Canadian national coach, player, manager, and executive, and is also a two-time Australian Olympian.
What he's done for Canadian hockey, it speaks for itself. On the field, off the field, and he's just a first-class quality person.
McBryde grew up in Maryborough, Australia, where he discovered field hockey at a local pitch when he was just 7.
Didn't really have anything in mind as far as the future was concerned. It grew, and my mates enjoyed it too, and we continued to play till a lot of us went down to university at the age of 17 or 18.
McBryde attended the University of Queensland and simultaneously excelled at the club level. There he qualified for the national team and played in the 1960 Olympics.
Marching into the Olympic Stadium in Rome on a beautiful sunny day, and I still remember entering that stadium to Waltzing Matilda and marching, and I think the Aussie team would have looked pretty good to the spectators on that day.
In the following 1964 Olympics, McBryde also won a bronze medal before making what would end up being a life-changing trip to Vancouver.
Well, I came to Canada at the end of 1966. I fell in love with Vancouver and just had to make decisions. Do I go back? Because the 68 Olympics were coming up at that time, and I was offered a very good post at what is now Langara College, then called Vancouver City College. And I accepted that on a 1-year contract, and then eventually that became a 2-year contract. But of course this meant I never went back to Australia during those years.
McBryde's leap of faith led him to the Vancouver Hawks team, where he progressed from player coach to president by the end of the 1960s. He also took up numerous provincial and national coaching roles into the early 70s, winning several BC national championships and coaching in the 1971 Pan American Games.
If I look at the late 1960s and early 1970s, at that time John was a world figure, a Olympic bronze medalist. He came to Canada. What I feel is his biggest contribution was that the skills he brought.
We needed help on and off the field, but he came here and he's been a lifeline for Canadian hockey.
In 1975, McBryde became CFHA Vice President before coaching the national team from 1977 to 1981. McBryde led Canada to silver at the 1979 Pan Ams and a big comeback win at the 1978 FIH World Cup.
In the second match of that tournament, we played India. Never beaten them before, never got anywhere near, but they were the reigning world champions at that time. Our Canadian team came back and scored 3 goals to beat them 3-1. And that had to be the crowning moment.
In 1984, McBryde became CFHA Program Director, helping coordinate the 1985 Junior World Cup in Vancouver.
That was very demanding, but very rewarding. We had 14 teams from all around the world, under 21 teams.
He was the man behind the scenes, organized the whole thing. He put together a great group of people to assist him, but he did the job. Second to none.
Over the years, McBryde also contributed to various turf field projects, including Right Field, a UBC turf synonymous with world-class field hockey.
I would like to think that was a major contribution. There were many other projects that I was involved in, including what eventually became Rutledge. That one started in 1987 and finally completed in 2011. So it just shows how long it can take for these projects to come to fruition. And it can be very frustrating, but when they do, eventually, if they do come to fruition, then that's a magic moment.
McBryde's peers are proud of his Hall of Fame induction as his work helped shape Canadian field hockey to where it is today.
Australian-born Canadian hockey legend who had given so much to hockey in Canada.
He won't be forgotten. He will not be forgotten for his contribution.
I'd like to be remembered as having contributed to opportunities for men and women, girls and boys of all age levels and levels of ability to be able to play this game, to enjoy the game, to aspire to whatever level they feel capable of achieving, and to establish the lifelong friendships and teammates that I have been so lucky to enjoy.